Beloved, understand this. There are no accidents in the universe. The very fact that these words have reached you at this precise moment is proof that you are being called, summoned, and chosen to awaken to something greater within yourself. Life is not governed by chance, it is governed by law, divine law, exact and unfailing. What you see here, an encounter, is not an accident, but the reflection of your own state of consciousness. There is a truth that few ever fully grasp, yet it is the very foundation of every meaningful experience in life. Nothing that happens to you is random. Nothing comes to you by chance. Every word you hear, every face you encounter, every message that crosses your path is part of a great unfolding design. And if this message has found its way into your hands, onto your screen, into your awareness, then understand this is not an accident. It is a divine appointment. Pause for a moment and reflect. How many billions of pieces of information are flowing through the world every second? How many countless voices are speaking, writing, and broadcasting? Yet out of the infinite streams of possibilities, your attention has landed here. You are not here by mistake. You are here because life has guided you, drawn you, and brought you face to face with a truth you are now ready to hear. The universe operates under law, not luck. And that law is one of perfect order, perfect timing, and perfect response. What you hold within yourself, whether consciously or unconsciously, creates the experiences you encounter. When something appears in your life, it comes because your inner state has summoned it. In that sense, every encounter is sacred. Every moment carries meaning, and this one is no different. Consider how often people overlook the signs, dismiss the messages, and treat divine encounters as mere coincidence. Yet there are no coincidences. Coincidence is only the language we use when we fail to recognize the deeper orchestration of life. The truth is that every step is ordered, and every event, whether large or small, is a thread woven into the great tapestry of your destiny. You may believe you stumbled upon this message, but in truth, your inner being called it forth. There is a reason this message is not seen by everyone. There is a reason only a few will pause to read it, and even fewer will feel its weight. It is because not all are ready. Not all are open. A divine appointment does not depend on mass approval. It depends on alignment. You see only what matches your state of awareness. The eyes of the world may pass over it, blind to its meaning, but you see it because it belongs to you. Take a moment to realize the wonder of this truth. If this message is here for you, then it means you are in the process of awakening to something greater. The timing of this encounter is precise. It could not have come earlier, for you may not have been ready to receive it. It could not have come later, for the call must be answered now. It is here in this moment, meeting you exactly where you are, to remind you that life does not operate on accident, but on purpose. Every divine appointment is both a mirror and a doorway. A mirror because it reflects the state of consciousness that brought it into being. A doorway because it invites you into a higher recognition of who you truly are and what you are capable of. The fact that you are here now tells you something about yourself. You are ready to awaken, to listen, to remember. So let this message be more than words on a screen. Let it be the signpost you have been asking for, the proof that you are seen, that you are heard, and that you are guided. Awareness is the secret doorway through which all of life enters your experience. You do not encounter reality as it is, you encounter reality as you are. What you notice, what captures your attention, is never random. It is the perfect reflection of your inner state of being. And so, when a message finds you, when a thought pierces through the noise of countless distractions, it does so because your awareness has summoned it. Consider this. Two people can walk through the same street, pass the same signs, hear the same words, and yet one sees nothing while the other sees everything. Why? Because awareness filters reality. You cannot perceive beyond the state in which you dwell. The world is not speaking different messages. It is always speaking the same eternal truth. Yet only those whose inner being vibrates in harmony with that truth can hear it. What you are conscious of determines what you will experience. If you live in fear, you will notice reasons to be afraid. If you live in hope, you will see signs of possibility. If you dwell in love, you will recognize love reflected everywhere you turn. Awareness is selective. Out of the infinite tapestry of existence, it extracts for you the portion that matches your inner assumption. Think of awareness as a magnetic field. It draws to you the messages that resonate with the frequency you hold within. That is why this message has appeared before you now. It is not that others cannot see it, but that you are tuned to receive it. The music of life is playing all the time, but you will only hear the melody to which you are attuned. This is why awakening begins not in the world outside, but in the shift of your consciousness. Change your awareness, and the world you experience must change. It is law. For the outer world is but a mirror, and the mirror can only show you what you place before it. If your awareness is filled with lack, life reflects scarcity. If your awareness is filled with abundance, life reflects provision. If your awareness is filled with truth, life reflects revelation. Understand the sacred responsibility this gives you. You are not at the mercy of random events. You are not a powerless observer. You are the chooser, the one who directs the gaze of consciousness, and by doing so, directs the flow of your life. The message that comes to you, the guidance that appears, the opportunities that present themselves, all are answers to the question your awareness has been silently asking. Notice how often people overlook the things that matter. They search for answers in distant places, yet the answer was in front of them all along. The difference lies in awareness. One eye is blind, another eye is open. One ear is deaf, another ear is attuned. Nothing is hidden, but everything is veiled until awareness lifts the covering. So take this moment as proof your awareness has reached a new stage. The reason you see meaning in this message is because you have grown into alignment with it. A month ago, a year ago, you might have passed over these words without thought. But today, they strike a chord. Why? Because awareness has shifted. You have expanded, and in that expansion, life now presents to you what was always waiting, always available, but unseen until now. What you are conscious of is your world. You do not need to beg life to change. You need only to change what you notice, what you dwell upon, what you give your inner attention to. For wherever awareness goes, life follows. Everything you see around you, every structure, every invention, every movement of human progress, was first born in the realm of imagination. The visible world is but the shadow of the invisible. Nothing begins outside. All things spring forth from within. To understand this is to understand the true cause of life. Imagination is not a pastime, nor is it fantasy. It is the creative power, the womb of reality, the silent architect of every experience you encounter. Look around your environment. The chair you sit on, the device you hold, the building you enter. None of these came into being by accident. Each existed first in the unseen thought of its creator. It was imagined, nurtured, and held in mind until it took on form in the world of matter. What is true of inventions is also true of the events and circumstances of your personal life. Your relationships, your opportunities, your struggles, and your triumphs all trace their origin to what was once imagined. Imagination is the seed, and life is the harvest. You may not always recall planting the seed, for many of your imaginings are unconscious. Yet the harvest comes nonetheless. A passing fear, when repeated in imagination, may solidify into unwanted experience. A persistent dream, when cherished in imagination, will ripen into opportunity and success. The soil of imagination does not question. It accepts whatever seed you plant and returns it multiplied. This is why awareness of your inner world is so vital. You cannot allow imagination to drift aimlessly, for it is never idle. It is always creating, always shaping, always forming the unseen into the seen. Many live unconsciously, imagining failure, loss, and rejection, and then cry out when life seems to deliver the very things they dreaded. Yet the law is clear. Life must bring forth what imagination has already conceived. To recognize imagination as cause is to take back your authority. No longer do you see yourself as a victim of chance, but as a deliberate creator. You begin to guard your inner vision with care, knowing that every assumption held long enough will crystallize into fact. You stop asking, when will things change? And instead ask, what am I imagining? For the answer to that question reveals the source of everything unfolding in your path. Notice the relationship between imagination and belief. Imagination gives form, while belief gives it power. You may imagine something briefly, but if you dismiss it as impossible, the seed dies. Yet when imagination is married with belief, when you accept it as real, though unseen, it becomes alive, vibrant, inevitable. This is why faith has been called the substance of things hoped for. Faith is nothing more than sustained imagination accepted as fact. Do not underestimate the quiet power of this truth. The world you will experience tomorrow is being shaped in your imagination today. Every assumption you persist in, whether noble or unworthy, creates its own corresponding reality. You cannot imagine abundance and live in lack. You cannot imagine love and remain in loneliness. You cannot imagine strength and live in weakness. Imagination always fulfills itself. The key, then, is to turn inward deliberately, to choose your imaginings with intention rather than drifting in idle thought, to see yourself as already possessing the life you desire, not as a beggar pleading with the future, but as a creator holding it now in vivid inner reality. For the outer must conform to the inner. It has no choice. This is law. So understand, nothing in your life appears from nowhere. Every outer event is the shadow of an inner cause, and that cause is imagination, your most sacred gift, your unseen workshop, your power to create. Life is constantly speaking. The universe whispers its truth through every event, every encounter, every seemingly ordinary moment. Yet not all hear the same message, and not all see the same signs. Why? Because perception is not equal for everyone. Vision is selective. You do not see reality as it is. You see it as you are prepared to see it. Only those whose spirit is aligned and whose readiness has ripened can recognize meaning where others see nothing. Think of a radio. 1,000 frequencies move invisibly through the air, yet you only hear the station to which you are tuned. The others are present, but they remain silent to you until your dial is set correctly. So it is with truth. The eternal message is always being broadcast, but you must be tuned to its frequency to perceive it. To the unready eye, it is invisible. To the prepared heart, it is undeniable. This is why only a few truly notice when the call of destiny arrives. Many scroll past, many dismiss, many turn away, for their vision is clouded with distraction. Yet the one who is aligned pauses, feels, and knows, this is for me. That moment of recognition is proof of readiness. What others overlook becomes for you a doorway into transformation. Selective vision is not about superiority. It is about state. Each person perceives only what their inner state allows them to. When you dwell in fear, you see a threatening world. When you dwell in resentment, you see evidence of betrayal. When you dwell in faith, you see opportunity where others see barriers. The world does not change, but your vision determines what portion of the world you are able to take hold of. This is why two people can stand before the same situation. One sees despair, the other sees hope. One sees failure, the other sees possibility. One sees nothing, the other sees a sign. The difference is not in the circumstance itself, but in the eyes that behold it. Vision is selective, and selection comes from alignment of the inner spirit. Alignment is not something forced, it is something allowed. When you release doubt, bitterness, and disbelief, you clear the lens of perception. When you hold fast to truth, gratitude, and faith, you sharpen that lens. Slowly, the blurred image of life comes into focus, and you begin to perceive the patterns, the signs, the messages that were always present, but hidden from your sight. You may wonder why certain truths were invisible to you in the past. Why could you not see them then, though they were spoken to you before? The answer is readiness. At that time, your vision was fixed elsewhere. You were not yet attuned. But now, because of your inner journey, your openness, your hunger for more, your vision has shifted. The very fact that you see meaning here and now is proof of growth. You are perceiving because you have become aligned with perception. Remember, truth hides in plain sight. The sacred is often wrapped in the ordinary. A phrase, a meeting, a chance encounter, these can carry profound meaning, yet only the ready spirit will notice. This is why many call such moments coincidence, while the awakened call them guidance. Both look upon the same event, yet each interprets according to the vision their state allows. So recognize the wonder of selective vision. You are not seeing this by accident. You are seeing because you are aligned. This is the evidence that you are among the few who have been prepared to receive, to recognize, and to embrace the message that life is now unveiling to you. Every message that enters your life carries with it a choice. You can dismiss it as ordinary, or you can recognize it as a call. And make no mistake, this moment, this very encounter with these words, is not casual. It is an invitation, a call to awaken to the power that has always been within you. The question is not whether the call has come. The question is whether you will answer it. To awaken is to move from sleep to awareness, from drifting unconsciously to living deliberately. Most people wander through life asleep, carried along by circumstances, reacting to whatever comes. They live by default, believing they are powerless in the face of events. But the one who awakens realizes a profound truth. The power to shape destiny lies not outside, but within. The call to awakening is the call to take back that power. Think of the countless times you have longed for change, prayed for direction, or asked for a sign. Perhaps you have waited for someone to come and rescue you, or for fate to turn in your favor. But the awakening reveals that no rescue is coming, for you are the one you have been waiting for. The answer you seek is already within your own consciousness, waiting to be recognized, claimed, and expressed. When the call to awakening comes, it is not always loud. It may not arrive with thunder or spectacle. More often, it comes as a quiet stirring, a deep recognition, a sudden knowing that you are more than you have been taught to believe. It comes in moments like this one, where something in you says, "This is speaking directly to me." That inner resonance is the voice of your own deeper self, urging you to rise. Awakening is not about learning something new. It is about remembering what was forgotten. You were born with the creative power of imagination, with the authority of consciousness, with the ability to direct the course of your life. Yet through habit, conditioning, and doubt, you may have fallen asleep to this truth. The call now is to remember, to reclaim, to step into the awareness of your true nature. When you awaken, the world does not suddenly become different. Rather, you become different, and therefore you see the world anew. Circumstances that once seemed impossible now appear malleable. Barriers that once stood immovable reveal themselves as illusions. Opportunities that once passed unnoticed shine brightly before you. The outer world bends to the awakened inner vision. But awakening is not passive. It is a call to action, not action in frantic effort, but action in deliberate assumption, conscious choosing, and steadfast belief. To awaken is to stop drifting with the tide of doubt, and to begin steering your life with the rudder of faith. It is to recognize that you are not here to merely exist, but to create, to expand, and to manifest the fullness of the life you desire. The call is for the few who are ready, for not all will hear it. Many will continue in sleep, comfortable in the familiar, unwilling to rise into the responsibility of power. But if these words resonate with you, if something within stirs as you read them, then know this: you are among the few. This message did not come to you by accident. It came as a mirror of your readiness, as confirmation that the time has come. So hear this call for what it is, not just encouragement, not just inspiration, but an invitation to stand in your rightful place as the creator of your destiny.